I gave a stranger a ride home on a rainy night, but she was never in my car. I'll never forget that rainy October night on Route 43. The fog was thick as soup, and my headlights barely cut through the darkness. I was heading home from a late shift at the hospital when I saw her, a young woman in a pale blue dress, soaked to the bone, standing by the roadside. Something about her seemed so vulnerable. When I pulled over, she slid into the back seat without a word, just a grateful smile. Her wet hair clung to her face, water dripping onto my leather seats. "Where to?" I asked, watching her in the rearview mirror. Her voice was barely a whisper as she gave directions. "Left at the old mill, right past the cemetery." The entire ride, she sat perfectly still, hands folded in her lap, staring out the window. When we pulled up to the white farmhouse she'd described, I turned to ask if she needed an umbrella, but the back seat was empty. Only a wet spot remained where she'd been sitting. Confused, I walked to the house and knocked. An elderly woman answered, her eyes tired but kind. When I mentioned the young woman in the pale blue dress, the color drained from her face. She walked to a side table and lifted a framed photograph showing the same girl who'd been in my car. "This was my daughter," the woman's voice cracked. "She died 5 years ago tonight in a storm, right where you picked her up."